Hey guys, it's That Compulsive Gamer, and welcome to Story Time. This is a series I'm going to do every once in a while, where I tell you a story, whether it be from my childhood, whether it be recent, or, any sort of space in between. Whatever, I sort of just want to do it and tell you guys a fun story and a truthful story. All of this is true, none of it's made up. That's why it's story time, not fantasy time. And let's roll right into this right away with how I broke my wrist as episode number 1. So, I once said in an English thing, if you've never broken a bone, you've never lived. And, while that may not be true, it was definitely quite an experience breaking my bone, breaking my wrist. And let's get right into how I ended up doing that. So, if you don't know anything about me, I'm a snowboarder. And I'm sure a lot of you can see where this is going already. And I was snowboarding at the hill, and I was actually in lessons because I used to ski, and then I started snowboarding, so I took lessons for snowboarding because it's actually really hard to get started on a snowboard, but once you're doing it, you can get it down, and I think skiing's easier to do, but harder to master, and reverse for snowboarding. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. So I was taking these snowboard lessons, having a great time, having a good old time, and after the lesson, you have like an extra 3 hours on your lift ticket that you can go on your own without the instructor being there, and just like you would normally if you didn't have lessons. So the lesson finished, and I was snowboarding down the terrain park because I was like, "Oh, terrain! This is awesome, guys! This is amazing!" And having fun on the terrain park, and I got a little bit cocky. Let's just say that. It all started out well and good, on those little grind rails and stuff, just learning the ropes, and I was doing those really well, and I decided to just jump from that to, like, this big jump, and, maybe looking back on it, not the smartest decision, but you know what, it was a lot of fun until this actually happened, and, so I went over this really big jump one night after lessons, and I landed weird. Didn't really do anything fancy, but I actually almost landed it properly, and then my board caught an edge, and I got flung forwards, still going really fast because I had all this momentum from the air and the downhill I landed on, and I ended up crashing, and I fell, and you stick your wrist out to break your fall, and that wasn't the only thing I broke. I may have broke the fall, but I also broke the wrist, so not the best thing, not exactly what you want to happen, and at first, it was like, it kind of hurt, I guess, hurt a bit of a crack when it landed, but I didn't think much of it because, you can crack your fingers all the time. It's not exactly a huge deal. So I actually snowboarded a few more runs, and, you have adrenaline, and you're in shock a bit, so it wasn't that bad. And 10 minutes later, it started to really throb and really hurt and be overall very, very extremely painful. So, I went up to a guy on ski patrol or snowboard patrol. I like to say snowboard patrol, but everyone calls him ski patrol, and I think that's sexist and racist and gamist. I don't know what I'd leave a long pause, but I was searching for the word right there. Searching for a made-up word that doesn't actually exist. But I went up to the guy, and I'm like, my wrist is really hurt, and it's really throbbing, and he's like, okay, well, we'll take it down and put it in a sling. Can you get down the hill on your own? I'm like, yep, I can get down the hill on my own, I don't need any help, and I sort of cradled my wrist and went down the hill just like normal. And he took me into the aid tent and with some colleagues, and I called my dad and was like, Dad, I fell and I hurt my wrist, and he put it in a sling for me and then told us when my dad arrived to go to emergency. So we drive to the hospital, and I'm just talking like non-stop because it's really hurting, and I'm trying to distract myself from the pain. I say this, but I probably drove my dad insane because I just wouldn't shut up. It was so painful. I was just talking to try to distract myself. But maybe that was some of the YouTube side kicking in too, since I spend all my time talking to bloody microphones. But anyway, we're just driving there. I'm like, hopefully it's not broken. I have hockey. I want to go to hockey. I want to be able to write and all this stuff. And we get to the hospital, and the lady's like, they ask you like to judge how important you are, like. I'm in Canada here, so we have free healthcare, but that doesn't mean that it's as long of a lines like the stereotypes are. I did have to wait. However, if you're dying or something, they're not going to make you wait. Not even in Canada, because we have free healthcare. It's not like, oh, you're dying, just give us 5 minutes. You do get right in. So just wanted to clear that stereotype up. But, so I go to the hospital, and the lady's like, how much does this hurt on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm like, 3, 4, it doesn't hurt that much, come on. I don't want this to be broken. I got hockey, I got sports I gotta go to here. Like, you can't tell me I got a broken wrist, and, and, she's like, I don't think she really believes me on how much it's actually hurting, and, anyway, we go back in the waiting room, and a little while later we get x-rayed, and, by this point, it's killing, and, to take the x-ray, you have to put your wrist so that the thin part is, like, face up. And I knew something was really bad when I couldn't do that. And my wrist was actually, like, I couldn't rotate it. That's when you know, okay, something's not great here. This can't be a positive thing. And at this point, we don't know if it's broke or sprained or just, hurting a bit. Although, I guess at this point, we also knew that it was a little more than a common, ow, I bumped it on the table, move on with your life thing. And, we get the x-rays taken, and we go wait another while longer. And, yeah, we had to wait some, and, I had some Advil because it absolutely killed. And they come back to us with the results of the x-ray. Yep, sir, it's broken. And, that started a long time of in-cast. It started me getting it spawned me getting knocked out so they could fix it, and then waking up like I was under drugs. Which my dad didn't record. I wish he did almost, because I think I would have been pretty funny, but I didn't actually get to find out. But anyway, so I woke up with a cast on my arm, and sorry, I got something caught in my throat there. But I wore the cast for the next 6 weeks, and slowly healed. Couldn't do anything, really. It sucked. And not exactly an experience that you want to go through on a regular basis. But hey, I've broke a bone, and we went through with the whole process, got it all solved, and, now it's good as new again. So there's the story, guys, of how I broke my wrist. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the 100th video celebration, which should be one of the next ones, coming up soon on That Compulsive Gamer.